Hello, my name is Jenny Lease, and I will present for you my Unit 1 lesson plan. My connector was color, and my grade was first grade. For the math portion of my lesson, I chose to title it Classroom Shapes. The point will be that students will spend time examining the classroom and identifying the various shapes they see. They will then categorize them by color. For the first exposure, the students will spend time with the teacher reviewing the different types of shapes. Using the whiteboard, we'll make a list of shapes and have the class identify characteristics of each shape. For example, squares have 4 sides, circles are round, triangles have 3 sides. We'll talk about what makes each shape unique, and we will at that time assign each shape a specific color to be used in the next exposure. In the second exposure, the class will break into 5 groups, and each group will be assigned a section of the classroom. 4 of the groups will be given a wall of the classroom, so each of the 4 walls will be assigned, and then the center area of the classroom will be assigned to the 5th group. The groups will spend time examining their assigned area and noting all the shapes they find. So, for instance, if we had assigned blue to a square, they would mark the blue shapes in their assigned area with or the squares in their assigned area with a blue post-it, so that every shape is labeled by the color that it was previously assigned. Once we're done with that, the class will get back together and we will discuss the different shapes they've located in their area. And then on the whiteboard or the board in the front of the room, we will mark how many shapes were located. So, for instance, we'll peg each square we find or each circle. Once we've done that, we'll make a bar graph to show the shapes that were located. So we'll use whatever color was assigned to the shape on the bar graph to raise it and represent the numbers that we found. The lessons or the standards we'll use in this lesson are 1 MD4, 1 G1, and 1 P1. For science, the title of the lesson will be Classroom Sorting, and students will sort items found in the classroom first by shape and then further by color and size. This science lesson ties in with our math lesson in that the first and second exposure for our science lesson are the same as the first and second exposure was for our math lesson. So for the third exposure of our science lesson, we will bring the class together and review the shapes that the class found, and we'll further sort the shapes that they found down by size and color. So not only are they sorting by shape, but then they're further breaking down into size and color. And then we're going to note the things that were similar in shape, size, and color. We'll note what makes them the same and different. So if we have several things that were the same size, shape, and color, we'll discuss the other properties of that, why they're different or the same. And then we will see if the class can come up with any connections to link them together. We'll do some comparing and things about that. And this standard will meet 1P 1.1. For our social studies lesson, the title is World Holiday Timeline. With assistance from the teacher, students will find out holidays in 5 different countries, and then as a class we'll make a large timeline to represent the holidays located. In our first exposure, the class will discuss holidays, talk about some of the U.S. holidays, when they occur, and things that stand out about those holidays. And then the class will choose 5 countries that they want to learn more about the holidays for. Once we've had those holidays, or the countries picked, we'll assign them each a color. So if they chose Germany, we might represent it in blue. If they chose France, we could represent it in yellow, things like that. in the second exposure, the teacher will have already prepared a timeline, so we'll have a large timeline up front, either on a whiteboard or a large piece of butcher paper that we can use to document the holidays we find. And then the class will work together to search Google. Since they're first graders, they probably won't be able to type or write things that much, so we are going to have the teacher help with that. Excuse me for a moment, please. Honey, mommy's doing homework. You have to go. Once the teacher has the holidays picked, we will choose the 5 or 6 most predominant ones, and the teacher will write them down on a piece of paper with the date when that holiday occurs for that class. In the third exposure, once all the holidays have been listed, the class will be making a timeline using those holidays. So we will assign each country's holiday by the color. So for all the holidays that occur in France will go on the board in yellow. The ones for Germany will go on the board in blue. And together the class will say which holiday goes first. So we'll be working on also their time perception, knowing that January comes before February, etc. Once we have them all written on the board, then we'll discuss the different months and which months have more holidays and things like that. This standard is 1 US 2.1. For our language arts and drama, these two are tied together pretty closely. They both utilize the My Many Colored Days book. So the title is Opinion Paper and Dramatization. Students will hear the story My Many Colored Days, write a sentence or two describing how the book made them feel, and then after that we will act it for the class, act out how they felt. So the first exposure for both drama and language arts will be to show the class the YouTube video of My Many Colored Days being read. And then I'll also have on hand several copies of the book in case the students want to flip through it as they're thinking about how they feel. Next, we will go through the book page by page and discuss how the author uses the pictures in the book to reinforce what is being read on each page, how the colors make the students feel on each page. This will demonstrate Standard 1 RL7. And then in the third exposure, we will have the class write 1 or 2 sentences stating their opinion of the book, how it makes them feel, and why it made them feel that way. And this will be Standard 1 THPR 4.2. In the fourth exposure, which is pertaining to drama only, the student will come before the rest of the class to give a short skit showing how the book made them feel. So using the 1 or 2 sentences that they did in the previous exposure, they'll come up and act it out for the class at that time. And this also will use exposure 1 THPR 4.2. For our art segment of the lesson, we're going to be doing color psychology. Students will use various art mediums to create a picture showing the book My Many Colored Days, how it made them feel. They should use one color predominantly to express how they felt during the story. We will use exposures 1 and 2 with our drama and language art lesson for this, so it also will tie in with those two. So for the third exposure of our art segment, we will discuss more in depth how colors relate to people's feelings, how they can make people feel different things. And we will use the YouTube video Empower Yourself with Color Psychology to help them understand how emotions and feelings and colors tie in together. And then I'll ask the students to choose one color that really represents how the My Many Colored Days made them feel for our art project. This is going to be using Standard 1 BACR 1.1. For the fourth exposure of the art, they will use any medium that they choose, pencils, colored pencils, crayons, markers, paints, construction paper, whatever they feel best represents what they want to do, and they'll make a visual representation of how the story made them feel. This will use standards 1 VACR 2.1 and 1 VACN 10.1. For music, we're going to do a flashlight choreography. Using flashlights, we're going to drape them with scarves of different colors to create different light colors on our ceiling in the classroom. The song we're doing it to is Colors Song 2, and you can find it on YouTube, the video of the song. So in the first exposure, we'll play the YouTube video for the students to introduce them to the song. I'll probably play it a few times so they kind of learn the chorus, learn how it goes, the counts, and how long each section really lasts. And then I'll show them the flashlights, introduce them to the scarves, show them how they work on the ceiling, show them how to get the colors and what they will look like once we turn the lights out. The second exposure will be the actual the choreography that we do. So I'll divide the flashlights amongst the students so there's an equal number for each color. I'll show the students the pattern of movements that I wish them to use. I'll be in after I finish this. I'm almost done. During the opening chorus, which goes up to minute 14 or second 14, I'll have the students, all of them together, move their flashlights in a figure 8 on the ceiling. During the next segment, where they actually are stating the colors, we'll only have the students with that color of flashlight during each section shining their light on the ceiling, and they will move them in circles. Then for the next chorus, which is about second 42, we'll have the students move their lights all together in a zigzag across the ceiling. And then in the next session, where they're actually talking about specific colors, during their assigned color, they will move it back and forth from one wall to the other, so south wall to north wall or east wall to west wall. During the next chorus at minute 120, they'll move their lights in figure 8s again. And then during the next one, where they specify colors, the students will choose what they want to do during their assigned colors, so whatever they feel like doing. And then we'll finish it that way as well. At the last chorus in minute 157, all the students together will move their flashlights on the ceiling however they choose. This incorporates standards 1 MUPR 6.1.A, 1 MUCN 11.1A, and 1 MUPR 6.1B. In the third exposure for this, we'll have the class break into groups of 4, and then they'll be able to choreograph their own light show to the original song. Since they're first graders, I don't want to change the song, so we'll have them do the original song, but they'll be able to choose the combination of the scarves and how the figures move on the ceiling. They can do whatever they want, and then they'll present that to the class. This will meet standard 1 MURE 1 or 8.1.A, and it will also do the standard that we used in art 1 VACR 2.1. And that is all of the lessons that I have for this color lesson plan for Unit 1. I hope that you enjoyed it and have a great day. Thank you.